So, I am doing this one more time to try to not get interrupted by the dogs or my in-laws or my boyfriend. But something that I was not prepared for, by the way, welcome to the video. I'm just going to be cleaning and everything in the background, and I wanted to vent because I had kind of a rough day on Saturday. I am an idiot when it comes to my new job, and it is new because I've only been there for 2 months. So there were some things that weren't in training that I am having to experience now. It is very customer service based. I'm a receptionist at a lash place. We get new clients in all the time, and each client is different. There is a set script I am supposed to go off of. There is a set routine that I have, especially with regulars and with new clients. New clients that are actually going to be patient and let me actually check with a technician if they have free time or availability or anything like that. And I messed up the other day, which I will be the first one to say I am human and I make so many mistakes. I shouldn't, evidently. I got my ass absolutely ripped saying that if I make any more mistakes, we're gonna have problems, she's gonna have to look for a new receptionist, all kinds of stuff. We've lost, not because of me, but since I had started, the old receptionist that trained me, 1 technician, and 2 clients. Just in the span of 2 months. And all the blame is on me. Because I've said something wrong, I've done something wrong, I've made a mistake, I typed a number in wrong, or something like that. And that is not how she wants it to be ran, her business to be ran, and I completely understand it. However, when new clients come in that have never been there before, and I try to get information out of them, like, okay, have you been here before? Have you gotten your lashes done before? This is the procedure, this is that. I have to look down at a cell phone that we have for work in order to contact the technicians. And this client had messaged the owner saying that I was being rude. I recommended another place because she asked, well, I'm new around here, who else does lashes? I said us, and then our competitor. Was that a stupid mistake that I should have fucking made? Yes. People call us thinking that we are that place all the time, and then they get mad at me if I can't find their information or something along those lines, or if I go, oh, no, this is this boutique, you're wanting the other one down the street. And then they're like, oh, okay, thank you for your time, and they hang up. Or they're like, oh, I didn't realize, and hang up. Or they're really rude and hang up, because every client is different. Trying when a new client comes in and there's a language barrier, be it an accent, be it something that I'm having trouble understanding because I'm a fucking idiot, and it takes me a minute to process verbal information, a lot longer than it should. Given my position, this is also my second customer service job, so it's still very new to me, and every customer service job is different because every manager, every owner, every customer is going to be different. So trying to keep a professional setting and a level head and be able to try to do multiple things at once without seeming rude is going to be dependent on the person you're interacting with. If I ask for somebody to hold, they're going to think that I'm being a bitch. Or if I ask another person to hold, they're going to be like, oh yeah, no problem, you probably got, you do your system, do your thing. There's a new technician. So I am having to, there's 2 new technicians actually. One of them started a couple months before me, and then another one just started about a month ago. And she's been complaining because she doesn't get clients, because she's not in the studio when we have walk-ins. And I have told her, I have told the new girl, and I have told one of the other ones that it takes about an hour to get to work. I'm like, you guys need to be here when I open because we have a lot more walk-ins. The one that started a couple months before me or a couple weeks before me usually just stays out in the parking lot or sends me a text if she's having any issues getting to work. The other one lives 10 minutes down the street, but it takes her an hour to get ready. The other one lives an hour away, and it takes her an hour to get to work. They don't stick around because they don't have to in the winter. They have to in the summer. One of them just started and tends to stick around a lot more. So of course she's going to get more clients. But I got my ass ripped because I went to reach for the brand new one, and she said, I can be there in an hour, but I can't be there right now. Like, so you're going to complain about not getting customers, but then not be in here when customers walk in after I've already told you that you need to be here when new customers walk in. And this client wasn't letting me get a word in. Every time I tried to speak, she was starting to speak over me. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to stop. I'm going to let her get out what it is that she wants to say, and then I will go from there. Didn't work. Made my mistake. She walked out the door, and she immediately messages the owner, and the owner messages me, and she is livid. And I understand from her perspective that she would be livid. And then one of the girls messages me, and she's like, I'm 10 minutes away. Why didn't you text me? Like, because I've been told that I need to give this new clients to the new girl who takes an hour to get ready and to get here, even though she lives 10 minutes down the street. So there is a big disconnect between the owner, myself, and the technicians. One usually always has clients, is constantly packed with them. In fact, I have to check with her, especially in the summer, if she wants a break, and she won't take one between clients. And when I started, there was already an issue with one of the clients where her entire set had to be comped because she had to wait 15 extra minutes because one of the girls was having an issue with the client that they were with. Which I expect that because everything's going to be different. I expect there to be a wait time when I come into a place like a hair salon or a nail salon or anything like that. Then there's the people who expect to be waited on hand and foot and immediately when the second they walk in the door. And I do not get along with those people because that's not realistic, and that's not the way that I was trained. Because how can you train for every single situation in this kind of a setting? I was not trained for this. I was not trained when people start talking over me and not letting me get a word in, because the last time that happened, she comped the entire full set, which is $200 and some at a time. And before somebody says something, I completely understand that that is ridiculous pricing and that the prices have gone up. Trust me. Believe me when I say I've already had this discussion with clients. I am human. I make mistakes. And I will be the first one to tell you that I fucked up. I am evidently not supposed to. Because at this moment in time, if I keep doing this, I risk the possibility of losing my job. Because it's either that I learn from my mistakes, or if I make one more mistake, I'm fired. I've been there for 2 months trying to figure out every kind of scenario, trying to put myself in client's shoes and technician's shoes and the owner's shoes, and trying to be sympathetic towards everybody but have a backbone and try to be polite and try to be calm, but at the same time be stern and, abide by the rules and abide by the policies. But then it's different rules for different people, either clients or technicians, and of course they're not going to act that way when the owner's in, or of course they're not going to act that way when it's not me and it was the other receptionist. Of course they wouldn't act that way. And trying to prepare for all of those scenarios is mentally draining. The amount of times I went in the break room and sobbed because of the fact that I don't like disappointing people. I am a people pleaser. But you can't be a people pleaser in customer service because everybody is different. Everybody deals with shit in a different way. So trying to find that middle ground has been extremely difficult, and that is not something that I think enough people talk about. At least none that I find. They talk about the cute outfits that they wear and answering the phone and all that kind of stuff. But having clients like scream at you, throw shit at you, all because of it being policy. All because I have to have you sign this waiver because you're putting extensions on. It's around your around your eyes. Because if you open your eyes during this procedure, there is a possibility that something bad could happen. You could get like the serum in your eye, you could burn, or you could even risk going blind if you don't do this properly, or you can have an allergic reaction, or anything like that. So trying to find that middle ground and trying to explain to clients and technicians what to do, or how this client is, or how picky they are, or to be the person that's in between, having to be the translator, having to reword things if the client doesn't understand, or trying to reword things when one of the technicians doesn't understand, because the owner is Portuguese. One of the girls is Ukrainian, one of the others is Russian. And now we're having somebody who's coming in who is also Ukrainian, that is going to be doing facials. So trying to be that mediator between everybody is impossible when it's different rules for different clients and different rules for different people, which I completely understand. This is probably very much with like teachers or like hospital receptionists, or like even dermatology offices, and any receptionist is dealing with. And when you have an owner that tends to cater, it is really hard to try to be that middle ground, and to understand, especially for a newer job where you have no experience. Trying to understand that, like, I completely understand where the owner is coming from. I should not be making the mistakes that I'm making. I should not have said what I said. And then from the client's perspective, I'm trying to decipher what it is they're meaning, because they're saying something and I'm processing it in a totally different way. Or I say there's us and then there's the other place, or, like I've said, people have come in before thinking that we're the other place and we're not, and they don't want to pay these prices, and then I'm not going to make people stop and like be like, oh no, we do really good lashes, but like they're really expensive. I completely understand that. I understand that we are out of people's budgets because it is expensive. Good quality stuff tends to be expensive, which is probably a very warped capitalist mindset. She is very much under the impression the customer is always right. I am always in the wrong. The technician's always in the wrong. There's something wrong with us. There is nothing wrong with the clients. They're like, the clients are angels. They can't do anything wrong. Because that's the personality that they show her. They show sweet and kind, and then they come out to me and they are resting bitch face. They slam their card on the counter. I ask if they want a tip and they look at me like I'm a fucking moron. And I've been told if I make any more mistakes that it's going to cost me my job. That I'm going to be fired because I make one too many mistakes. Which of course I'm going to be making mistakes. I've been there for 2 months. And there's a totally different way they run the salon in winter versus how they run it in summer. In winter, policies are not as strict. They understand due to road work. They understand due to like rain or snow or anything like that. Weather issues, anything like that. And I completely understand. She just opened a new location. So trying to be the mediator, trying to be understanding of all perspectives, and then trying to do my job well, trying to be kind, trying to be courteous, trying to be a stickler for the policy, trying to know when to make an exception, trying to know when not to make exceptions, the loyalty, the this, that, the other. It is so difficult, because if I'm like, well, this is our policy, she can come in and go, oh, well, we'll ignore it for you. We'll do it this one time for you. It's like, now they're going to expect it, and I'm going to look like the asshole when I'm not able to honor this anymore. And she's like, you need to be telling me when you have questions. You need to be telling me when you have a situation like this, so this doesn't happen again. You need to be learning from your mistakes. I need you to be my eyes and ears when I'm not there. I need you to be doing better. You need to do more. You need to be doing better. I'm like, okay. I have to tell you when the technicians don't show up, and then try to get them to come in as soon as possible, even though I've told them on multiple occasions I need you guys in the second I open, which they are not listening to me. Or one of them is out in the parking lot and I tell her, like, hey, I need you to come in, there's a client, and she doesn't look at her phone. Or one is 10 minutes down the street but takes an hour to get ready. Like, there comes a point where it is no longer my problem that I am the one that needs to be dealing with it. It starts to become an owner problem. It starts to become a manager problem. That she already sent out like a mass message, like, hey, we're getting a lot more walk-ins. I don't need to be here, and you guys like aren't there. You guys need to be at the studio, and you need to be at least 10 to 15 minutes away at all times. And of course, one of the technicians does not listen to that. Another one, there's a language barrier where she's like, I don't understand it, but okay. And it is so frustrating because I don't know what to do from the receptionist point of view, because there's too much going on. There's too many different variables, variations, issues that I need to be solving. And then the phone's going off and there's clients in front of me I'm trying to check out. And then there's the issue with the money drawer. We can only keep a certain amount in there, and the second that certain amount goes down, I am no longer allowed to take even exact change, even exact money, which makes no sense to me. Well, but it's because you can't like bust anything if like they come in and do something. Like, okay, when she's not there, I have to use my own money to put in that cash drawer. I do not get benefits. I do not get days off. I do not get vacation days. I don't even know if I get bereavement. I don't get insurance. Like, I am considered a full-time employee with none of the full-time benefits. And I can't leave. I can't. We're trying to get a car. We're trying to move out. I have to get Leslie, my cat, his vaccines and everything. I need to be going to the doctor. I need to go to the dentist, the OBGYN. I have all the shit that I need to be doing. And I'm trying to figure out where I'm fucking up at work so I don't lose my job. But then, again, it's different rules for different clients. It's different rules for different people. It's like almost impossible to try to find a middle ground of like, okay, this is, I know I can do this with this client. I know I can do it with this client, because their attitudes change by the day. My attitude changes by the day. The owner's attitude changes by the day. I definitely fucked up on Saturday, and I completely understand that, and I respect the fact that if I make another mistake, it is on me, and I am probably not going to have a job anymore. I am also the kind of person that makes mistakes, and I learn from those, and I have to learn from those. So if I am in an environment where I am not allowed to make mistakes, I'm never going to learn. I am never going to learn, like, okay, I don't ask, this client if they want to leave a tip because they never do. But then that's the thing, if she hears me not go through that script, she's like, now wait a minute, you didn't ask them if they wanted to leave a tip. What if they wanted to leave a tip? Oh, well, they've been here over a year, they never do. But you still have to ask. But they never do, so why should I ask? There are regular that come in all the time, or they tip you directly, or they tip the girls directly, and they get so frustrated with me when I have to go through that song and dance, and it's like, it is part of this. It is part of this position. This is the way this is ran. And it's so fucking annoying. It is so annoying trying to be the mediator, trying to be, like, have a backbone, and trying to be, like, courteous and polite and nice and understand everybody's situation and move them if need be, and abide by the policy, but make the exceptions for certain clients and not make mistakes. I've been there 2 months, and it's a totally different ballgame between winter and summer. because it's a whole different level of clientele. And she's like, but if we get more clients, then we get more money. And I completely understand that. The girls make commission, so whatever clients come in, that's what they make. Or like, I tell the girls, you have a walk-in, they're not here, then I'm like, okay, I have to go to the next person. But if the client is like, I don't want to wait for you to try to contact a technician, and I have to say, well, they're on their break, they're stuck in traffic, they're this, that, and the other, it'll just be a few minutes, they then get mad at me. Because they're like, well, I need my shit done, and I need them done now. Like, I completely understand. Give me a moment, let me see what I can do. And usually it's like, do 10% off or $10 off, like comp this, comp that. They don't have to pay for it, they don't have to do this, this. And it's so freaking annoying. And she sent out a text message and was having this conversation with the girls, and there's still one technician that doesn't come in when she needs to be in. The others stay out in the parking lot, they stay close by. The one technician is ran ragged because she's got so many loyal clients and she's really good at her craft, and I completely understand it. Everybody is going to have a different strong suit. It also all depends on the clients. I am also a babysitter. I am a translator. I am a housekeeper. I'm a cleaner. I'm sympathetic. I answer anybody's questions. I do all this stuff. And then she's like, you made one single mistake. This is going to cost you your job. You said something wrong. At this point, this can cost you your job. Like, okay. I completely understand. Make no mistakes. Try to be perfect. And hope to God I was trained correctly. Because the way I was trained and the way I'm dealing with everything now is night and day. And that receptionist is no longer with us. And then, like I said, we lost a couple of clients since I started because a technician left, because a receptionist left, because they got comfortable with those people. And they're like, those people aren't here anymore. I'm going to go somewhere else. And we're like, oh, well, we can offer this, that, and the other. And they don't want it. She has this really bad habit. And the technician that left when I started actually said this. She has a really bad habit of thinking that she can buy clients. And honestly, that's really true. It gets so frustrating and so annoying because I don't know where the middle ground is, and I don't know where I'm supposed to be in that situation. The house is on fire and I can't find the fire extinguisher or the phone to call 911. And it's like, what do I do? What do I do other than like try my best and try to make sure that I'm able to do everything in my power that I know right off the bat I'm able to do in that moment? Sometimes certain clients, like I've had an issue with one where one technician was taking a little bit of time with a lash removal, and the client that came in early for their thing was like, I have a job that I'm doing. I'm taking time out of my day in order to be doing this. I need this done now and I need it done quick. I'm like, it's going to be a little bit more time. I don't know what's going on. Once the girls are back in their rooms, it is up to them to tell me, hey, I need more time. So I can then contact the clients and go, hey, they're running a little bit behind. Is there anything that I can help you with? Is there anything you have any questions about? Is there, like, would you like to reschedule or rebook or anything like that? And then sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. This one was really annoyed and upset, and I understand that because she showed up early. She has to take time out of her day, and she's a in-home nurse and all this other kind of stuff. And I'm like, I completely understand. I totally get it. Let me see what I can do. Let me talk to the owner and I will get this settled and sorted. Some clients don't let me do that. They don't let me mediate. They don't let me try to find like some kind of solution. They're like, you need to be fixing it now or I'm going to leave a bad review and I'm going to leave. And she has said on multiple occasions, the owner has said, I've had a bad review before and I never want that to happen again. In 6 years, I've had one bad review, and I'm like, okay, do my best. And then evidently my best is definitely not good enough. And I've told this to her. I told this to her yesterday when she was talking to me and getting upset with me. I'm like, I am obviously not doing what you need me to do. So what would you like me to do? Do you want me to try to learn from this mistake, or are you going to fire me? And she thought that I was like putting in my 2 weeks and saying that I was going to leave. Like, no. I am becoming a liability because I'm not doing this job correctly. And I completely understand that. So what would you like me to do? Do you want me to leave my key? Or do you want me to do better and try again, make a note of this, and do better in the future? I've only been here for 2 months. None of these examples or none of these situations were in my training that you weren't in building 4. So what do I do? She's like, I need you to be my eyes and ears. I need you to tell me when the girls aren't showing up. I need you to tell me when clients are being difficult. I need you to do all this. I'm like, I can't do that if I am having to have this conversation with a client, as well as try to be on the phone with you, letting you know what everything's doing, because then they view me as just being a teenager on my phone, and I'm nowhere near a teenager. But that is seen as rude because I'm on the phone trying to get a hold of her, or I'm on the phone trying to get a hold of a technician, or I'm getting a message or a call from another client and I have to mute that call or ignore that call and let it go to voicemail, and then I'm told I'm not answering the phone enough. I'm not like... It's not for the faint of heart, and I am definitely the faint of heart. I make mistakes. I fuck up. I say the wrong things. I do the wrong things. I, don't count the money correctly. I scheduled certain, clients outside of the hours because they were really a loyal client and we don't need to fuck this up, or they had to make an exception, or I tell the girls and then I'm not supposed to tell the girls, or I tell the client something that I'm not supposed to tell them. If they come from a different place, there's a $15 foreign fill fee, and some clients care, some of them don't. If they come up and they're like, why is it $15 more? Then I explain it, then they're going to get pissed. But then if I tell them, hey, up front, there's this $15 foreign fill policy, because we don't know what condition your lashes are coming in as, this is an extra, not incentive, but this is extra money in case it takes extra time. And people don't get it. And she doesn't get it. Because she's always been a technician. She's never done anything from the receptionist perspective except with really loyal clients that don't care how long it's going to take, that don't care that, they have to wait a little bit for her because they are her loyal clients. It is exhausting. And this is not going to be my career. And even then, saying that, so many people get pissy because they're like, you have this opportunity, you have a job, you have stability, you need to be making it your career. I do not want this career. If I do, it is not going to be at this location. It is not going to be at this job. Because there is no reason it should be this difficult to abide by the rules, to have technicians come in, to have clients be understanding, to have empathy for people, to be understanding, or anything like that. And after a certain point, when it comes to the clients and the technicians, it is out of my hands. Well, you have to be the mediator. I know I need to be the mediator. But if I'm not getting a response from the owner at that point in time, guess what? Or if I'm not getting a response from the technician or from the client at that point in time, guess what? I can't do my job. If the technicians aren't in, then they are not getting paid. If clients come in and have a problem with the pricing, or have a problem with the technician, or have a problem with my attitude or anything like that, and I never try to give them an attitude. I do my best to be as calm and polite and try to be understanding when it comes to pricing, try to be understanding when it comes to timing and all kinds of shit. I completely understand nobody wants to wait an hour in order to go get their lashes done for 2. Nobody has that kind of time. People have a set schedule. It takes 2 hours to do this. It takes an hour for a fill. It takes an hour for a lift and tint. It takes 20 minutes for a wax, depending on if it's eyebrow or lip or cheek or anything like that. It takes time. You have to give me that grace to be like, okay, let me get a hold of a technician and give me a second to make sure that they are able to, squeeze you in. I'm not like interrupting their break, because they don't get paid for a 30-minute break. I don't get paid for a 30-minute break. So it's like, give me a moment to do my job. And I don't get that moment to do my job. It's just constantly my fault. I'm the one at fault. I'm the one not doing anything properly. And it gets to that point where it's like, do I even want to try this anymore? Do I even want to stay any longer? Do I even want to bother trying to be? It's just exhausting. And I know this is coming from a place of privilege. I have the ability to go to work every day. I have the ability to put food on the table and money in my wallet, and I'm able to pay for things like my phone and, equipment for recording and games and all that kind of stuff. I am extremely privileged to, be just paying rent at my in-laws' house. And it's really cheap rent. I am lost at what to do other than just to bug the shit out of the owner and be like, am I doing this correctly? I need you to check this when you're in. I need you to look at all of this. I need you to babysit me to make sure that I was trained properly, to make sure I'm handling all this properly. And I shouldn't have to do that. I should have been trained to handle all of this. I should have been informed of how to do all this. And it's just hard. I don't know what else to do other than continue doing my best, but obviously my best is not good enough. But I also don't know how long it's going to be until I find a new job. I don't know how long it's going to be until I'm able to do any of this. And like I said, I don't get sick days. I'm the only receptionist for this location. There's 2 in the other one. It's like, I need help. I obviously do not have enough experience, and I don't have enough, experience. I don't have enough, patience, insight, understanding in order to do this job well and cohesively. So what do you want me to do? You want me to learn from my mistakes, but you don't want me to make these mistakes again. You want me to do my best, but my best is not good enough. You want me to cater to certain employees and cater to certain clients and allow them to slip by the policies and the rules and all that kind of stuff, but at the same time you want me to make sure that new clients are understanding of the fact that they don't get that same privilege, they don't get that same discount, they don't get that same grace or anything like that. You want me to stick to a script for certain clients but not for others because it annoys them and they've been complaining to you about the way that I've been acting. You want me to be stern and have a backbone, but you don't want me to be rude or condescending. You don't want me to interrupt during a consultation, but you need me to be as helpful as possible when it comes to any sort of questions or issues, or try to have some kind of understanding. And then the technicians think that I am being an ass and interfering in their job. I'm the technician. I have no idea how any of this shit is done or ran. You want me to use my own money for the cash drawer if you're not available. You want me to make sure that we are able to cater to everybody and anybody that walks through that door the second they come in there, even if there is a language barrier, even if there is some kind of a situation, be it they're being aggressive or I am doing my best to have to calm the situation down. And I am not that kind of person because people see me as a child. People see me as a pushover. People see me as somebody that they can easily walk all over, which honestly, because of the fact that I am a people pleaser, I have high anxiety, and I might be ADHD or have some kind of neurodivergency where my brain does not process information the same way everybody else does. I have an issue with verbal information. It has to be verbal and I have to write it down. I write it down in front of people. People think that I'm being rude. I can't read nonverbal cues, and I can't read somebody's attitude or I can't read their minds. I do not know what to do. It got so bad to the point where I was up in the middle of the night last night scrolling on TikTok and came across a should I quit notebook that I went on ahead and bought it. So if I fill out any of that, that's when I'm going to get back on the job hunting market, and I might be bussing tables, I might be at a job I absolutely hate, and I might have multiple small jobs on my resume where I only work there for a couple of months at a time. It is so difficult to be in that position and to be able to do your job well and make sure everybody is happy and not let the negativity bother you. It is so, so hard not to let the negativity bug me, not to get and let people get under my skin, to not let clients bully me. But then they go to the owner and she's like, I heard you're being rude, I heard this, that, and the other, is this true? And then she's going to take the client's word over mine. So it's like, okay, I don't know what you want from me. I'm obviously not a fit for this position, so I am counting my days. And I'm, again, understanding that this is coming from a place of privilege, understanding I am coming from a place where if tomorrow I'm told, hey, you made another mistake, I can't keep you, I can just go, okay. I give her my keys and I tell my family and I do my best to get back on the websites and try to find an interview and try to snag like a new job and all that. Like, I went from a warehouse to a grocery store to a receptionist. None of that is cohesive, and none of that, every manager at the grocery store had a totally different way of dealing with their customers and their employees, and the store manager is different than the department manager, and the department manager would always have like an issue with the store manager, and like there's a lot of disconnect. There's not like a good ebb and flow. There's no understanding. There's no even like, and I get it. I have a very easy job. I answer phones and I make appointments. I also have to clean up. I also have to make sure that I'm scheduling the clients with the right technician for the right service, and I'm giving equal opportunities to both of the new technicians if they're ever there, and like not play favorites, and then not be on the technician's bad side, not be on the owner's bad side, not be on the customer's bad side, and it is mentally exhausting. And I don't know how to get out of that cycle. I don't qualify for any other like receptionist job. I don't qualify for any other like, I don't qualify for even like a remote job. My mother-in-law works remote, so like I don't qualify. And I'm really scared I'm gonna walk in there on Tuesday and get told like, hey, you made another mistake, I can't keep you anymore, or you made another mistake, you're gonna go to part-time. And like I said, there's no benefit, there's no 401k, there's no insurance, there's no health insurance, dental insurance, any of that. Like, and before somebody says it, because everybody fucking says it, I am not entitled to that. I may be a full-time employee, I'm not entitled to that. I'm not entitled to vacation days. I'm not entitled to bonuses. I'm not entitled to a job. And that realization is the one that causes people to panic. It's a privilege to be able to go out and work. It's a privilege to be able to drive. It's a privilege to be able to put food on the table and clothes on your back, gas in your car, a roof over your head. It's like, anyway, I'm lost. I don't really know what to do. I am going to continue to do my best, and if you see me posting more content than normal, then we're back to square one, and I sincerely am irritated with myself. So, if you guys have any advice please feel free to leave it in the comments. I could really use some. And before somebody says it, don't go on the internet and complain. It's my channel, I'm allowed to post what I want. If I want to come on here and I want to bitch, rip, and complain about my job until I'm blue in the face, I'm allowed to do that. You don't have to watch me. I know this is a customer service kind of thing. I appreciate and understand the fact that I am not for everybody. Just like my work should be able to be like, okay, well, maybe that client just isn't for us. Maybe this technician just isn't for us. Maybe this technician and this client don't mesh well together. Like, there's gotta be some kind of understanding and not just like, oh, the receptionist fucked up. But I am at the bottom of the totem pole. So I'm gonna try to relax and try to not let it ruin my next day off, which is tomorrow. And try not to worry about it and try not to let it get to me. But it's now in the back of my mind where I'm like, this is gonna be a problem. This is gonna be an issue. I really do need to be looking at other forms of employment, other opportunities, other like means of getting by. And I tried to start an Etsy shop and it keeps like saying that like all my stuff is wrong, and trying to do things that should make a difference, and it's not. But thank you for listening.